This is Paul. Yeah. hmm it is 4:22. Yeah. Saturday, May 2nd. And I uploaded some videos, and I thought for sure somebody was going to contact me today, but no one has. Yeah. Now, on June 16th of 2017, 2 years, 10 months, and 16 days ago, my wife said I was in Brennan, Washington. Mm. Exhibit A, the copy of the protection order, yes, that the public defender presented as evidence as being invalid. Not much of a consideration whether or not I was there or I committed the crime. It's always been the contention, yes, of the invalidity of the actual protection order itself. Now I know that it might not seem important, poop, but we don't have to add superior to it. Yes. Mhm. It does require a court address, and there's a big question about was it my wife that filled this out or did somebody else? Poop. Now, I was the indigent. Yeah. On September 19th of 2017. Yes. Where I said I had no money, and it was said, well, partially at public expense, the defendant to pay $300 to $600 to be determined. And as I explained years ago, yeah, when you don't know the expense that you're going to pay as a defendant, it really calls into question the undue hardship of actually having to appear in court. Mm. There's a there's a question of, well, to be determined. Yeah. As in, well, if you're guilty, yeah, it'll be $600, $800, $10,000, whatever it is. Pouch right now. But when I filled out the information of being indigent, yes, it can't be to be determined. Yeah. There's a contractual obligation on the part of the state to make a decision of exactly how it's going to be. Yes. And I could have always represented myself. Self-representation. Now I know. You're like, well, you have to have a 1077 and is in self-represented. Yes. Defendant. I'm like, no, I don't think so. Now, Judge Jill Landis, Jil, Jill Landis. Yeah. She says, well, you can't represent yourself. Yeah. I say I can. In fact, if you're not going to give me an attorney entirely at public expense, yeah, I'm going to sue you for intentionally causing me the undue hardship right now of obligating me to have to pay partially at public expense any to be determined amount from $300 to $600. You can see here, yeah, ma'am, per is. Now, the defendant in this requested the assignment of a lawyer basis. The finding, the court finds that the defendant is financially unable to obtain a lawyer without causing substantial hardship to the defendant or the defendant's family. It is ordered that the defendant is entitled to a lawyer in this case. Yes. Entirely at public expense. Now, this looked like it was photocopied, but obviously there's a date there, so she must have written it in there. This is my copy of it. Yeah. But there's a question of when is it entirely at public expense? Now, public defender is appointed as a lawyer for defendant. The appointed lawyer may be assisted by lawyers in the same firm as the appointed lawyer. Public defender has a conflict and attorney has been appointed. They can be reached at. The clerk of the court shall immediately notify the lawyer of this appointment. Assignment of a lawyer is conditioned upon payment of defense lawyer's fees and the cost of other defense services in the event the defendant is or becomes able to pay them. The amount of payment and method of collection may be established at a later date to be determined. Now, they don't really explain this to you, but Jack, yeah, was the public defender is appointed as lawyer for the defendant. The appointed lawyer may be assisted by lawyers in the same firm as the appointed lawyer. Yes, and that would be Jefferson Associated Counsel. The clerk of the court shall immediately notify the lawyer of this appointment. Yeah. And as I remember it, Jack was there at the time that I was video arraigned. Pouch! Now, obviously, when your lawyer doesn't ask you where you were at on June 16th of 2017, yes, informs you during the first court hearing on November 1st of 2017 that you're having a 1077, my immediate response was, well, what can I say? Yeah. I mean, you would have thought that somebody would have asked me, right now, where were you? What were you doing that day? Yes. Did anybody see you doing what you were doing? Yes. Was there something you were doing that would prove your innocence so you wouldn't have to go to any court hearings? Now, I'm sure Jefferson Associated Counsel realizes that I sent approximately 20,000 emails. Yes. From September 19th of 2017 until January 9th of 2019. Yes. And as you can see, during that whole time, yes, nobody, right now, actually read any emails. I'm going to want to subpoena them. And I'm going to want to sue right now every one of them. Now, for the idiots in the employment of the judiciary, yes. I know Judge Jolanda, she's like, no, don't call me an idiot. I've been a judge my whole life, and nobody calls me an idiot. Pooch. But I'm the individual that would say that this county intentionally obstructs persons from having entirely at public expense. Yeah. Considering the homelessness of my person. Yes. Sleeping in a homeless shelter. The $150,000 in back child support. Pooch. And the whole thought that I should be able to come up with $300 to $600 right now.